Hey everyone, Ultima456 here with the final video for Crash Bandicoot the N-Sane Trilogy. This time we're getting all the Platinum Relics in Crash Bandicoot 3 warped, and here they are, so let's get started. Okay, stage number 1, Toad Village. Quite an easy stage to start off with. Pretty much the only thing that I could do to get further into the stage quicker is just a slide jump. Obviously you want to have the speedy shoes from the end of the game. Just beat Cortex and you'll get that. In this game, every time you beat a boss you get a power up, and the speed shoes are the final power up. I kind of screwed up there, but oh well, it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't enough to affect the platinum time. Yeah, you'll notice how Crash is spinning a lot more than usual. That's another special like move. If you spam the square button, he can just spin like crazy, which is really good for clearing out like boxes. It also causes him to have like a floatiness to his mobility, which is really good. Yeah, 43.52. So I don't think that's too much better than the platinum time that you have to get, but it's just a time that I got. It can be improved a little bit there because I screwed up a bit, but for the most part, pretty straightforward stage. Alright, Under Pressure. There are 2 levels that take place underwater. This is the first of them. This level, spinning under the water causes you to go faster. So that's pretty much what I tried to do as often as I possibly could. If you can get there quick enough, you can make that cycle, which is really good. There's an Aku mask there and a 1 box at the very bottom, but I skipped it because I feel like just going through that section normally without having to go all the way down there just for that 1 second box is much faster. Another thing, I didn't realize this machine had a boost until I probably did realize it, but I didn't remember because I played this like when it came out the first time years ago, but I didn't remember about the boost. If you press the like crouch button R1 or circle or whatever, you can boost. It goes really fast, but it's awkward to handle. Another thing is, yeah, I skipped it there. I don't know if I skipped it because it's faster to skip it or because I just decided to, I was just in that position, so I just went for it. And then I basically just spun all the way towards the end. You notice there, like I screwed up a little bit, like Crash turned around. For some reason in these stages, he moves very odd. I don't know, I don't like the way that he moves, and the controller makes it awkward to play. But yeah. Alright, Orion Express. So in this level, or in this game, you can play as Coco. Those birds are because I was doing a version of the stage and she smashed. Anyway, this level's like, it's pretty tough. Like, I don't mind these levels too much. They're similar to the polar bear levels from the previous game. You just need to know when to run and when to slow down, and the answer to that question is always run, except when you're trying to get up on top of these things. So you see, like, I lost a massive amount of time because I wasn't running. I just needed to like slow down a fair bit so that I could actually make that jump, because there were a lot of times where I was trying to make the jump and it just would not happen. Here I got pretty lucky. That's a tricky jump to make, but that's basically where you want to go. And then almost smashed my face in there. And when she gets here, the time just stops and you can take as long as you want to get to the end. 15:46, not a bad time. Again, I don't have the times listed. I'm thinking maybe I should put them in the video description at least. So, you know, maybe show what the platinum time is and then what I got. I'll try and do that for this video and also the previous ones. Yeah, I think that'll be alright. So Boneyard. Alright, Boneyard is it's a relatively tricky level. Basically you have to run away from this Triceratops and it's kind of like the boulder levels from the previous games. It's pretty tricky because those like lava pits are everywhere and you have no idea, like, until you've done the stage like several times, where they're going to be. I got very lucky with some jumps like that one and the previous one there, where for some reason it didn't affect, like, it didn't hit Crash, so he didn't lose his Aku mask or take a hit or whatever. Here I screwed up. I don't know how I missed that. I must have been like too far back or forward. But I went back for it because there's a third mask right there, and having all 3 masks really helps like get through the stage quickly. So yeah, just like rush through. I don't think there's any stages where you need to use the gem paths to get like to end the stage quicker. At least that wasn't my experience. In Crash 2 I think there was one, or in Crash 1 there was definitely one. I can't remember if there was in Crash 2 was a death route that you could use. But yeah, I screwed up there a little bit, and then I was gonna go for that one, but I remembered the Triceratops can just break it, so you can skip that to save a bit more time. You can break that one too. Just keep jumping, keep sliding, and you should make it. This one I think I got pretty close. I think the time to beat is like 120. I think it's like 121 actually. I seem to remember it being 121, so I got fairly close there. A lot of the stages I beat like just barely, but I still feel like this one, I can't tell if this one's harder or if Crash 2 is harder. I don't know, they're about equal. This game has some stages that are pretty awful. This one being, I don't know, it's hard to say if this one's one of them or not, but I just felt like this one was pretty hard. There's one later on where you use Coco in this little boat thing that's very difficult. It's probably the hardest one. Anyway, at the beginning there, I kind of used the board to give me like a boost. I don't know if that actually worked. It kind of looked like I went faster, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Jumping is definitely slower than avoiding it. There's a one box over there, but I would recommend just going all the way around and cutting the corner, because it's much better than going all the way for that 1 second, turning around, and then like trying to get the other 1 second box. So just cut the corner there, you'll save a lot more time. I think, yeah, that's right. If memory serves, the time on this one is very tight as well. I don't know how I avoided that, but I'm really glad I did. But yeah, the time on this one is pretty tricky. I think I only beat it by like a few, either milliseconds or like at least 1 second or something like that. So you have to make sure that you get all the boxes, except for that 1 second box. I still feel like it's faster to cut that corner. This was nice and clean. That is easier to do than it looks. It's not that bad. As long as you tilt the controller or the control stick enough, she'll make that turn every time. And then you get here, and then the end is right there. So it's a very straightforward stage, but you do need to make sure that you don't hit anything because, well, maybe you can hit 1 or 2 things because you got the up mask to like damage boost kind of. That's what happened with that boat. But there you go, 55.72. I can't remember what the time was for that one. It's probably like 56 or 57. Gee whiz. Alright, another stage very similar to Toad Village. Basically just a straight path. Just keep constantly sliding and jumping, and you should be able to pretty much make it. Here you can, if you're good enough, you can hit the billy goat into all those boxes. I hit it into at least one of the ones, which was alright. And then just keep sliding, jumping, sliding, jumping. Another thing about this particular game, slide jumping doesn't feel like it, it gives you like a free Platinum Relic. In all the stages that, like, how can I put it? Like for example in the polar bear stages, when you do that rush jump to like, you rush and then cancel into a jump, that really felt like it gave you so much extra time to beat the platinum. Like I beat some platinums in Crash 2 by like 4 seconds or more. But here, it doesn't, yeah, it took forever to break all those. I'm not really sure how to break all those efficiently. You could probably like hit the enemy earlier into it, but I didn't have a chance to do that. Yeah, but even like for stages like this, I think if you were to just like sprint through the whole stage and collect all the, yeah, that was a mistake. That was pretty good. You probably want to destroy, you want to hit that enemy into the nitros at the end so you can go straight to the portal. And so you don't get destroyed. But yeah, I feel like if you just use the speedy shoes rather than slide jumping, it's going to be very hard to make the platinum time. Alright, hang 'em high. This is one of my absolute favorite stages. You have to cut as many corners as you possibly can and save as much time as you possibly can. This took me a while to do, but I think it turned out really nicely. You definitely want to keep your masks. That's an extended like slide spin jump. There's another one that causes me to float a little bit. I probably didn't have to do it as long as I did, but I did. Yeah, he can double jump now as well. There's another, like, he gets another special ability after the third boss, I think it is. And he can double jump, which is really nice to make those extra long jumps. Get that 3. When you're on the rails there, you can just like go really fast. And yeah, I like all these stages. It was very difficult, but performing the inputs on the controller was really fun. I got pretty lucky there with that spin, and then I kind of just went for it. I don't remember what the time was for this, but I think I beat it considerably. I don't want to say it necessarily. There's one later on that I definitely beat considerably, but this one, yeah, I don't know. It was tough, but it was actually kind of fun. Once you do it enough times, it's fun. Speaking of stages that are fun, this is not one of them. This is easily one of the hardest stages. There are 2 hardest stages. It's this one and another one later. Now, don't adjust your TVs or your screens. I'm waiting here, not for anything in particular, but I just want the cars to get a little bit further away from me. And the reason being is because you need to do this stage pretty much perfectly. It's the only way to get the Platinum Relic. You need to use this speed pad, and you need to basically keep the boost that it gives you for the entire stage. And the reason I let the cars go first is because if you don't, a car will be right here as you're trying to make this turn and get that 2 box. And it's really, really hard to get it. So if you let them go a little bit forward, you can put them in a different position and you can get the box. Here, yeah, don't even, like, it. I did this for over an hour trying to, I think almost 2 hours, like trying to perfect that, and I got very lucky. Here I screwed up and hit the car, but luckily I hit the boost pad at the same time. And then you just go to the end here, 37.70. I think the time is like 38 or something like that. The only way to get the Platinum Relic is to do it the way I did. And remember, you don't need to come first in this race, you just need to beat the time. So I actually somehow managed to come second even after waiting all that time. But yeah, that stage is awful. You can wait a little bit longer and try and like, get them to essentially finish the stage before you even start, but it just took too long for me. So I waited like at least a little bit just to get that car out of the way, and then the rest was alright. Alright, Tomb Time, another stage, stage type that I quite like. Here you can cross this entire chasm by just sliding and double jumping, so definitely do that. It saves a huge amount of time. The time is pretty tight on this one as well. I can't remember what it is yet. Maybe I'll remember when I see the actual final time. Getting the triple mask is... Anytime it's possible to get a triple mask in a stage, it's almost like mandatory if you want the platinum time. If you want the gold, like, you'll probably get it like no problem. If you're like at least half decent. But the platinum, some of the platinums are really tough. They require you to play perfectly. I totally dodged that stupid flamethrower, dude. And then for here, don't even worry about pressing that. Just do a slide jump, and then you can get up here. 50. I think it's either 54, but if memory serves, I think it's like 53 and then milliseconds that are above 11 or 1-1. So yeah, the time was pretty tight on that one too. That always makes me laugh when Crash like falls flat in his face because it's a Coco stage. Alright, Midnight Run. Exactly the same as the previous stage like this, just with a different setup. All the stages, practice makes perfect. Essentially that's what it boils down to. The more times you do them, the more you learn them, the more you understand how you need to perform each section. But nothing is more the epitome of that definition than this stage here. So that jump that I did like to the top and then jumping down, collecting those 2-3 boxes, that was pretty tough. The way I did it was when you, I don't know exactly how it works, but when you hold the sprint button, it sprints like crazy, but when you let go of it, she slows down dramatically. Like, she basically goes to her normal speed almost instantly. So use it like, when you need to slow down, let go. When you need to go fast, hold it. That's the only way I can really explain it. Is there a problem, Granny? I don't know what that's a reference to. I'm guessing like Granny is like, driving like a granny or something like that. It's kind of tricky to explain that. I don't really understand if it's a reference or something. Alright, Dino Might. First, there's something very important to note about this stage. There are 2 secret levels in this game. One is called... what is one? Oh, one is called Egopus Rex, and the other one is called Hot Cocoa. In order to get to Egopus Rex, you need to take this upcoming yellow gem path over there, and you need to be caught by a pterodactyl, the second pterodactyl, when you're running away from a triceratops. So remember that for later, because you need to go through that section in order to unlock the secret level and in order to do the time trial later. I'll probably mention it again when we get to that point, but remember, stage, what is this, 12? Stage 12, Dino Might. Here, so everything up to this point has been pretty normal. Spin the egg to get the little dinosaur out of the egg really quickly, and then just keep going through the stage. I think he can be hurt by those fire, but I got really lucky for him to not be hurt. Here, I did that like that. I don't know if that's the best idea. This was very dumb. I spammed square and it caused me to spin too much and then take too long on that, but I still got enough, I still got it in time. And then here, you just have to pretty much, so see that pterodactyl in the gem path on the left side of the screen, there'll be a pterodactyl. You need to run directly into it, and he'll carry it like that, for example. Not that one, but the one in the yellow gem path, the second one. He'll carry you away to Egopus Rex. Don't ask me how I survived there. I took that hit. You pretty much have to know about that 3 box to make it in time. And this one, I'm pretty sure I did like just barely in time as well, like 1 minute and 2 or 3 or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that one's okay. It took me a little bit of time. Okay, Deep Trouble. Now this stage is interesting. I didn't get a very good time. I got like 108, and that was a gold relic. And then I was like, damn, I still have to like beat my time by like, I think it was 103 is the required time. And you can see me using the speed boost now from this thing. It's very awkward to maneuver. There was a time box just before I entered that section that I didn't get on purpose, because I felt like just speeding through the stage was quicker. I didn't get that Aqua Mask because when I forgot to mention this in the first stage, but you don't get anything for getting 3 Aqua Masks underwater. Like, it doesn't give you invincibility, which is really frustrating. But yeah, I actually waited there a split second just to try and avoid the cycle so I didn't get hit, and then I got the extra Aqua Mask. Grab that one. Don't worry about the stuff on the right. That's for like a secret to do with boxes. Just go straight up, somehow make it through there in time. And then I got hit, got another one of these machines, and then I had to kind of position myself. These machines are so awkward to drive. Like, they're very, very bad. And then I sped through there. I shot as much as I possibly could. I went for that 3 box and I tried to get rid of as many nitros as possible. Boosted through, got it destroyed, the 1 second. And then 58 seconds, which is a really good time. I think the platinum was like 103. I got 108, and then the very next run, I think it was, I got 58 seconds, and I was just like, wow, that's a decent time. All right, high time, another stage that I like, but it is difficult. Now, I'm gonna show you, I think it's this one, I'm gonna show you 2 versions of the stage. At the beginning, I jump 1, 2, 3 times. This is a first cycle, so the problem with this stage is that yeah, this is the first cycle, so like the things are going to be in different places. Enemies and obstacles are all going to be in different places. So I'm going to show you 2 versions of this. So as you can see, that beginning there, like, you can watch that over and over again and try and figure out exactly how I'm making those jumps. The reason I waited 3, like I jumped 3 times, that was to give myself, I don't know, I guess you could call them like either 3 seconds or 3 Mississippis to set the cycles in a certain way. And then, yeah, and then I went for it. Now here I screwed up because he would not get up there. And then somehow I managed to get just enough of a jump thing here. This was very slow, but you'll see on the next attempt that I did it much better. Yeah, so spin there. And pretty much once you've learnt the whole beginning part of the stage, all this is fairly simple, especially because you're just going through the Aqua Mask. This is the one hard part. I jumped there and I was trying to jump under the thing to grab it. The end is right here, by the way. I was trying to jump under the thing so I could grab the handrails at the top or whatever they are, the monkey bars. He just does not want to jump when you go underneath on the right side if you jump towards it. So it's a bit awkward. All right, now here is a different cycle. Do the same 3 jumps to give yourself that favorable cycle. It's mainly for this magic carpet here, so that you can jump all the way to the top instantly. Because if you don't do that, it's not going to work. So that was 52 seconds, by the way, that previous one. It was still a platinum time. But now, because I didn't screw up on another section, I'm actually going to save, I think it's like 4 seconds. I think I get 48 something. Bounce on that, then slide jump. That saves you a bit more time. Slide jump, spin, slide jump, jump. Jump over there. That was good. Always slide those guys because, yeah, here we go. This ended up being quite perfect. And that could have been a teensy bit better, but that was alright for the most part. There we go. That's how it should be done for the most part. When you hit that third mask, obviously you get the mask powers and it destroys everything. And then you just run like crazy all the way to the end. Make sure you stay close to the left side there. I tried to do it again. Exactly the same thing happened. I spun because I was scared because I didn't want to fall. And then I got 48.79. I love that cut of the corner. Look at the difference. One of my times was 1 minute 14 and I brought it down to 52 and 48 with different cycles. So yeah, I put that in there just to show that, you know, there's a whole bunch of different cycles that are possible. I think there are 3 total of these stages where you're riding on the motorbike. This one, no, sorry, 4, there's 4. This one and the other 2 that are still remaining are nowhere near as hard to get the Platinum Relic for. You can pretty much tell that almost immediately because as the stage goes on, you'll see that there are no like speed boosts, at least not early on. I almost made it past this. Oh, here's another, the exit to the secret level. On the left there, that bird that smashed into that sign, you have to hit that sign with your bike when you're not on the time trial and you'll unlock Hot Cocoa. So you have to go to Road Crash, which is level 14? I think it's 14, I don't know, I'll have a look at it after again. But you have to hit that sign to unlock Hot Cocoa. So you can see we've gone all this way. I've done it pretty much perfectly apart from hitting that barrier. But there's been no speed boosts. Now when there is a speed boost, which is here, there's a jump immediately after and there's like a chasm or a fissure in the ground, so you can't use the speed boost constantly, you have to jump. Now here, this is the first point where, now I braked there with L2 to slow down, and you pretty much have to slow down a bit more. I somehow did okay enough there to get it. Here's another boost but with a jump that you can't really get away from because of the way the speed boosts work. And yeah, and then you just keep going. So the speed boosts essentially, okay, I didn't even hit that one. I was going to say, technically you could use that speed boost and head towards the right of the police cars and you can keep boosting. But like I said, you don't need to do it. The time is, it's difficult, but it's nowhere near the difficulty of Hog Ride. And the end should be coming up here. Just avoid these broken bits on the wall, in the road. And done. So yeah, not bad, that one. I thought it was going to be much worse. I think that was my second or third attempt. A lot of these I got like first go, second go, third go, but some of them took a lot of attempts to do. It definitely felt faster to me to do all these than it did like, yeah, it was 14, stage 14. And stage 11 or 12 is Dino Might. So they're both actually in Warp Room 3. Yeah, the ones in Crash 1 felt a lot harder. These ones are they're about on par with Crash 2, but I'd even go so far as to say they're a tiny bit easier, but it's really hard to say because difficulty is so relative. But yeah, I don't know, I just like to give you guys at least some form of guide on how challenging I find these stages. Definitely want to hit that guy into the TNT and try and explode everything. That'll save you a lot of time, and you probably have to do it. Here, I think I did that by accident, but I actually found it really useful. So I hit the 2 boxes underneath the TNT and the time box, which caused the TNT to hit the ground, go off, and then destroy the 3 time box when I was way further ahead. So I would do that. I think that's probably the best way to do it, because sliding is the quickest way to break boxes and still maintain your speed. I missed the 1 box before, like just after that TNT thing, but it was still enough to get the Platinum Relic. Whee! Whee! Now what do I do here? Okay, yeah, that was good. I don't know how I survived that. I think I used the double jump to make that ledge when I took the hit there, and then you kind of just avoid this guy, and done. 58 seconds. I can't remember, I think it's like 59 or something, or 1 minute for this stage. So it's, yeah, it's pretty tough, but just do it a few times, you'll get it. Alright, what's the next one? Sphinxinator. This stage... These stages are fun, but man, they are hard. Another stage where you have to wait a few cycles. I jumped 5 times, and I'll explain exactly why. I actually forgot to say it in the previous stage, but it's more important here. First of all, there's a secret Aku mask in that box set there. It's the one on the top right. So you want to hit all of them. If you wait the 5 jumps, you should be able to make this cycle. So you double jump and then spin like crazy, and then you should be able to make this cycle with the door opening and closing. If you don't, it's going to cost you a lot of time, and you probably won't get the Platinum Relic. Another thing you may have noticed there was that the door was about to close and then didn't. Here you have to wait a bit, but it was quick enough. Yeah, and then I don't know how to get this one, like how to get that perfectly. I got very lucky with the way I destroyed those boxes. I don't know how to get all of them perfectly, so I don't know, just do what you can there. If you want to copy me, just do that. If not, then I don't know, try and figure it out, because I don't know how to do that bit fast. Here you have to wait a second, wait a little bit, then slide, jump, double jump, and super spin, and then you can go straight away for this one. If you don't wait, you will not make it. I tried every single variation and I could not make that jump from the very beginning of the platform. Then you got your third mask, and then that way you can just sprint towards the end. Slide, jump, slide. Oh, I was supposed. Now this switch is supposed to close the doors, so you don't want to press it. But because I have 3 masks, the doors will not close. It's kind of this weird effect where having the 3 masks, the only way to die is kind of like falling off the stage for the most part, and it also changes the way like traps affect you, like they won't activate and all that. Alright, this is a cool stage. Bye bye blimps with Coco. There's another stage with Crash later. This one is much easier, and the way you do it is you basically collect that as late as you possibly can. I collected it fairly early. And then you've just got to fly around in an effective manner and destroy all the big Cortex blimps. This is the best way I found to do it. There might be another way. Generally there's more than one way to do something, but for me this was about as effective as I could do it. You can see that the blimps that I chose to take down, as I'm taking down each one, I'm getting closer and closer to the next one. And by the way, the Platinum Relic is like 31 seconds or something like that, so I was very, very, very close. But you can see as I was taking down each one, I was getting closer to the next one. So yeah, and I'm sure, like I said, there's probably different ways to do it. That's the way I chose to do it. It makes it easier. Alright, Tell No Tales. Now, I don't know if it's this one, it might be. This is a pain in the ass to do. Collect that 1 box, go around that jump, because the jump it's slightly slower, I think. I'm like 99% sure of that. Here, you might be able to like skip that 2 box, because if you just turn, it's like at the beginning of the other stage where I skipped the 1 box. If you just do a really, really sharp turn, you can make it all the way here, but I think that seagull will kill you. It's very frustrating. I'm not exactly sure how he works, but he can kill you because he's sitting on that box. This guy's pretty easy to avoid, just stay to the left. Here, don't cut in on the left like I was about to do, just follow him on the right, that way you can keep your mask. Collect all these boxes, collect this. The hardest thing about this stage is its length. It just goes on and on and on and on, and that was amazing. I don't know how I did that turn, but it was amazing. Even if you get hit there, I don't think there is a triple mask in this stage, as in like it doesn't activate even if there is one. So don't worry if you get hit there, but the waves were really favorable and I was able to get away with it. Then turn the corner, get that 3, make sure you keep turning. This thing doesn't really have brakes, by the way, it just accelerates and turns, but its turn is like, if you want to go left and you press left, you will go left. It's very, very, very powerful on the turn. Yeah, hit that. Don't press, also when you do jumps, if you press forward on the control stick, Coco will dive into the water, because there are a few stages with boxes under the water. Do not do that on those jumps, because you will not collect the box that's floating on top of the water. So yeah, make sure you don't do that. Then just collect the rest of the boxes. Again, favorable wave. I got hit there and missed the 2 box, which was really annoying. Then I got hit there. And this is what I was talking about. It's like this, yeah, it is this stage. This was the first time I got this far in the stage, and I was like, damn it, like I just lost both my masks. I was doing so well. Luckily the rest of the stage wasn't as difficult and I managed to get away with it. But yeah, the reason this stage is so hard is just because it goes on and on and on. It's very frustrating. Jump there and straight into the goal. Done. 1:14.94. Another Platinum Relic. Don't know what the time is for this one. Oh yeah, and I accidentally forgot to type my initials there. Oh well, not a big deal. Future Frenzy. Alright, I actually quite like these stages as well. There's quite a few stages I like with Crash and like his, you know, just maneuvering in the game. I think that's what's so fun about it. You can do that double jump over the things. It's pretty risky at the beginning, but like, I don't know, I made it. Sometimes I made it, sometimes I didn't make it. It's tricky. I would recommend getting those 3 1 boxes in the air the same way I did it. Is this the one? Yeah, okay. So you get to this platform and then it takes you, he did that same thing as he did in the previous game where he kind of like jumped backwards on the platform. Look at me sprinting. You want to just start sprinting immediately. Yeah, do that. Avoid that guy. Grab this. You have to wait here a little bit because he will almost always attack unless you, like, I don't know, jump at the beginning to avoid that cycle, but it's not worth it. Here, just run onto that thing and it'll cause Crash to do that spin, and then you just keep going. Got stuck a little bit there. Now you get the mask, so you definitely don't want to lose any masks because you want to get your 3 masks. Run like crazy, do a jump, double jump. Make sure you get all that. 1, 2, go. Avoid that spinny thing, just like, yeah, jump over because you got the mask, so destroy all the TNTs. I don't even need to jump there, but oh well. Oh, here, yeah, you need to stay under. You can probably double slide under there. It's a little bit tricky, but I've done it before. Just like make sure you're not underneath one of those things. And then it's almost at the end now. Just run and just do not stop running and you will make that hopefully every time. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it feels like that because he just lands right on the edge when you make that jump. And there's my time, 1:13.49. Took me, I don't remember how long it took me to do that, but it wasn't, I don't think it was that long. 1:13.49 is a decent time. Tomb Raider, haha, I get the pun. It's a pun on Tomb Raider, which is cool. Alright, so here, now this is a tough level. If you want the Platinum Relic, just keep running. Like, you have to pretty much, there's so many cycles that you have to make. Here's one. You jump on that and then just spin like crazy, just enough. I don't know how I didn't drown. Yeah, by the way, if you fall in that water, you drown. Then you spin this one. You gotta go very quick, get the mask, do a slide jump, fail slightly, still make it somehow. And then there's one that you do have to wait. Now, I can't figure out a way to get that 1 box and the mask effectively, so I just went for the mask because there are 3 masks in this and you need it to make it there in time. Here, this is the only one that I couldn't, the cycle I couldn't make. I had no choice but to wait, but luckily the water goes very, very quickly. And then because, yeah, it dropped very quickly, I was able to just run the whole thing. Okay, here I had to wait slightly, but I just destroyed the boxes while I waited. Keep going. That guy knocked me back, and I still managed to get the platinum time, which is cool. Here's the 3rd mask. So remember when I was saying that the mask activates like different things in the level and it affects different things? One thing is that the water should not rise when you have the mask on. Let's see here. Go, 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 go. Yeah, you can see it's not rising. It would have rised by now, but yeah, it's not rising. And then 121? 121.26. I don't remember what the time is at all for this one, but I think I still just barely made it. Maybe, no, maybe it was like 3 or 4 seconds. I think they're a little bit lenient on that one, but that's the best way I could figure out to do that one. Alright, Gone Tomorrow. This is very similar to Future Frenzy. There's pretty much 2 versions of each stage, with the exception of like the hog riding stages. There's like 4 of those and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that probably can be done faster. I'm not really sure how. But yeah, you can avoid these guys. They're pretty easy to just jump around. Slide. I don't even know what happened there. Did I land on that guy? I think I landed on the enemy. This is probably the best way to get these 3. Just spin. Takes a while to get there, but then it puts you in a good position for the rest of it. And I think I landed perfectly on this. Yeah, and then it kind of just started moving immediately. There was a small pause, but Crash didn't do that little jump towards the middle of the platform, so I felt like I made that pretty quickly. And then here, you're gonna land like off screen, so just start running like crazy as soon as you get close. Smash that, and then it's basically the same thing. You get triple mask, and then you can almost make it to basically the very end of the stage just by constantly running. Go, 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 go. Jump. Just try and get everything, make sure you jump on that. There's a bit coming here where I'm gonna jump on a box here, jump on it, run, and then jump. If you jump on it and then like just hold forward, Crash won't bounce off it because he's got the triple mask. So you want to jump on it, the triple mask will activate, destroying the box, and then just press forward and jump to make sure you get across there. And then there's another mask here, you just grab that and you can make it to the end. This one's pretty tight, I think it's like 102 something. So it's, yeah, you have to be very, very fast. The more times you do it, the better you get used to it, and you find little ways to make your time faster and faster. Alright, orange asphalt, I think is asphalt? Asphalt. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, so this one, again, nowhere near as hard as Hog Ride, but this one's actually relatively difficult because the police cars move back and forward. So you have to kind of like estimate where you want to go. And yeah, and then like you got to keep your speed here. I might have got a little bit lucky on this one. I guess not really. There we go, just like screwed up massively, but still ended up getting the platinum time. Go around. This was very slow. That's okay. Just speed and try and keep this, yeah, as long as you possibly can. If you see a fissure in the road and the only way to get past is jumping over the ramp, then you kind of feel better because you know you don't have to maintain that level of speed because you can't get over the fissures without jumping over a ramp. There is a speed boost there. I mean, obviously that would help, but you'd have to crash into the barrier first, so I don't know how useful it is, and I didn't need it for the platinum. If you're going for leaderboard times, obviously you want to, you know, make full advantage of everything, but because I don't understand how people get like some of the times they do on the leaderboards, I just can't be bothered. I don't know why there, but I got hit by excuse me, I got hit by that car, and then I was on like the dirt, but Crash felt like he was going at approximately the same speed, even on the dirt, which was very odd. It didn't really make sense to me, but yeah, it still worked out, which was nice. And then just get the boost. You can see, like, look how far ahead I am. I'm first, but I'm sure I'm like well ahead of all the other cars. And it's funny too, because then you get to the end, which is now, yeah, 122.78. Damn, that lasted long. And then all the cars come and like crash with like his bike, I think. It might be in one of the, oh, there you go. He just drove completely over my bike. 122.78, I can't remember what the time is. Like I said, I'll try and put it in the description. Flaming Passion, another awesome stage. Alright, this particular stage, this particular type of stage, there are 3 of these. So what was it? Hang 'em High, High Time, and Flaming Passion. Again, I like these stages because there's so many little like tricks and efficiencies that you can make to get there faster, and it's all about execution. Like for example, that one there, I purposely, I kind of lucked into that strategy. I didn't even think about what I was doing there, and it worked out really well. I actually recommend doing that way, getting those 2 boxes that way. Now here, jump on the TNT, slide to the left to jump up to that platform, and then get up to the get up to the carpet, and then that way you can get up here. You need 3 masks to save yourself a huge amount of time. I don't know how open the stage is, like because you can see quite a bit of the left side that you have to go to when you get to that point. So you could kind of like slide and jump over to that side maybe, but I don't know, I just kind of tried to follow the path as much as possible. You need the 3 masks basically to hit that 3 box in the air. Because if you don't, Crash will just like bounce off of it downwards, and he'll just fall immediately and die, and it's really annoying. 53.30, I don't know how that compares to the platinum time, I can't remember. Alright, Mad Bombers. This one is much harder than the Coco one, but there's probably way more than one way to do it, because I wasted a ton of time here and I still got the Platinum Relic. This one, it took me about like 10 minutes of trying to get it, so I'm sure, like I said, there's more than one way to do it. I actually went for this one, and the reason I went for this one is because he's turning towards us, so I felt like it would be easier. In order to destroy them, I think you have to just deal enough damage to both of the engines, both of the biplane's engines, and it'll destroy it. And then there, I couldn't really decide which one to go for next, so I just thought I'll go for this one. If you spin in midair, like the other enemies like have a harder time hitting you, and you won't lose as much health. So just destroy that one. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, I screwed up there a little bit, as you can see. Like, I should have destroyed it when it was flying towards me. But for the most part, all the planes that I went for were flying towards me, and that is what saves the bulk of time. Yeah, I think, yeah, since all of them are flying towards me, it saves so much more time. If they're flying away from you, it takes like twice as long to get to them. And then they're 57, 87. I think it's 59. It could even be 58, but I don't know. I don't remember. I remember that is like very, very close to the time, so I only just barely got it. But I think that's what you want to do. Just make sure that the planes are flying towards you rather than you flying towards the planes. If you can do it like that, then you should be alright. Alright, bug light. Oh, I thought I waited on this stage. Okay, no, I didn't. You can wait on this stage like to get a favorable cycle, but I think eventually I just decided to go for it because it wasn't really working. That was a pretty good way to take out those two boxes. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. You don't need the 3 masks. Oh, sorry. There are 3 masks, but they give you all 3 in a section like just up ahead. Yeah, here. I could not for the life of me get these doors to not close whenever I got there, so I don't know if there's a way to do it, but I tried so many times, different cycles, like waiting at the beginning, just would not stay open when I got there. Same with that. Alright, so here they give you 3 masks. I think I screw up a little bit here. I spin way too much. And then you kind of just run like crazy, go through the stage with the triple mask. Go, 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 go. And yeah, just try and get through as much of the stage as possible. Try and run directly in the middle of those boxes, because there was an attempt that I had where I only destroyed one of the 2 boxes, and that caused me to lose a lot of time. That was a good jump. I jumped over all of that stuff. I think this one, yeah, here. I can't remember where the end of the stage is. It's coming up though. Spin. Spin. Almost there. And yeah, there. This one, yeah, if memory serves, it's like 1:14 or 1:15 or something. It's a pretty tight time for that one as well. Best time. Alright, what's the next one? Sky Crazed or Ski Crazed. This one is okay. Basically, it's this level again. There's a box on the right, and I think it's 2 seconds. Definitely not worth going for. You have to go so far out of your way to get that time box. It's just not worth it in the slightest. So just cut the corner on the left and just stay left the whole time. Yeah, this one's okay, and the reason it's okay is because all these stages for the most part are just like straightforward, like you just go in one direction, and so the more you practice it, the more you're gonna get it. So, but it's still difficult. You'll notice there was a jump there before with 2 boxes. There was a 2 on the left, which I got, and a 3 on the right, which I didn't get. I think it is possible to get the 3, but it's not required. So yeah, in midair they just stay like hold left all the way. You get a really favorable cycle with those bombs moving out away from the boxes rather than in towards the boxes. Here you get, I can't believe I didn't hit that bomb. Here you get a nice little mask. That's a bit of a safety. Definitely need that. Do not screw up and hit that nitro. Get the mask instead. Then here, yeah, it's a really unfavorable cycle, but I somehow managed to get it. And I generally would miss one of those boxes there. I think I missed one here. Oh no, must have been a different attempt. Here, I tried to slow down as much as I could just to get the one. I managed to get both of these. Still haven't lost the mask, which is really nice. If you can keep it this far, you're pretty golden. And then here, just, that was good, but it's not easy to do that. And then you get a double 3 box. Double 3 boxes are always good. It's like, wow, so much time to save. Get the 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, not too hard, and a knuckle off mask. Again, practice makes perfect on this one. Just redoing the same thing over and over again will give you the time. I missed the one box, but I don't think... Oh no, technically it could have saved me a bit more time, but yeah. Here you need to hit... you should definitely hit that nitro box. I don't know if it's... No, I think it is, yeah. I think you need to hit it because at the end here there's like a stack of nitros or something that you would run right into if you didn't. And the end is like tricky. It's just straight ahead. Oh no, I didn't need the one box because I had 33.28 like before I got it and after I got it. Or after I missed it, I should say. Alright, so we're getting pretty close to the end. We've got 1, 2, 3 stages to go. Four stages. So this is Area 51, which is cool. This is another Hog Ride stage, the final one. This one's interesting because they put UFOs on the track. It's still a race, which I guess doesn't matter because you're doing a time trial. And yeah, I should have easily seen that coming, and I think this was my second attempt, or technically third attempt. I should have seen that coming, but I don't know, for some reason I did the exact same thing. Just stay to the left at that point behind the UFO and it'll move out of the way for you. And then pretty much for the rest of the thing, you just want to try and, because it's so dark, the stage, like the developers made it so that you can just see what you need to see. I can't believe I fell there and I still got the Platinum Relic. Like, that's how much easier this stage is compared to Hog Ride. I don't know why they made Hog Ride so impossibly difficult to execute that annoying trick. But this one is like, oh yeah, just, you know, drive forward as fast as you can and you'll get the Platinum Relic. I don't know, I don't like that inconsistency, but oh well, that's how it is. You may have sniped a fake crash on the left there. There's a trophy for hitting him with the bazooka, which is pretty cool. You can do that in the first stage if you haven't done that already. He's on the right side, a little ways in, just after the bonus path, I think. Anyway, yeah, so just keep, you know, use it's dark, but you can use the light of your motorbike and just the amount of draw distance that the game gives you to position yourself favorably along the track. Just keep driving, grabbing all the boxes that you possibly can. The barriers in this stage, actually one of the hints that the game gives you on the loading screens, which I omitted for this video, is that all the barriers in this stage denote where the road has fallen away, I think is the term they use. So yeah, avoid those barriers at all costs to make sure that you get it. And then this is the end. You basically just hit like 5 or 6 warp pads or speed pads, and you drive straight to the end. Done. And like I said, I got this one on like my second or third attempt, so I have no idea what the platinum time is, but yeah, it's a relatively easy one. I consider it to be relatively easy. Alright, what are we up to? Rings of Power. Now, I like this stage, but it took me way longer than was necessary to get this. So I fly into this just to save, like, you know, you save like a split second by flying into it rather than shooting. And then what you want to do is you want to spin before you hit each ring. So these are all like secret bonus stages. It's why they're not really in the rest of the game. It's like only one stage that they designed, but they're really cool. You want to spin before you hit each ring, because it'll give you a nice speed boost every time. So just keep doing that over and over and over again. I think I missed, it might have been that previous one there, like the little air trails that you leave go purple when you do it right. I caught up to this guy very quickly, but you can catch him even before. Another thing, I'm shooting like crazy, and the reason I'm shooting like crazy is because I want to have like a stray bullet hit the balloons if possible, because the nitro ones can kill you like instantly. That's pretty much the only thing. And then here you have to use a little bit of brake so you can turn your plane into the rings. So press the L2 button to kind of like sky brake, I guess, a little bit. All right, now quickly, there's going to be a load screen that says Egopus Rex. There we go. So remember from the previous thing I said, go to Dino Might, go to the secret yellow gem path, and then be taken away by the pterodactyl to access this stage. Annoyingly, it's the only way to access it. I seem to remember in the original you could access this one and maybe even Hot Cocoa or one of them through the final warp room that we're in. It would say stages 26 to 32. And the only reason it says that is because stages 27 and 29 are stages that are in the main game, but you start from a different position, and so it gives you all the boxes. I don't know, they've designed it in such a confusing way. Hopefully they'll like maybe patch that to make it a bit easier to get to these stages, because you have to go through Dino Might to access the stage. But yeah, this isn't too long, and it's actually kind of fun as well once you learn it. I don't know what the hell happened here. The game would not like warp me out, so I like wasted a bit of time. But yeah, 4767 is enough. That I did that like in 2 or 3 attempts. Alright, but now the worst freaking stage, Hot Cocoa. Now I have to give credit to, I think his name is Lead or Lead Decimator, and there's another one called George Too Good. I basically had to use Lead Decimator's video to figure out how to do this stage. Basically, when you start this stage, the end is right behind you. But it's covered with nitro. Now there is a glitch, like a little exploit that you can do where you can hit the nitro with those little fins on your jet ski thing, and you won't die. I don't know if it's this one, I doubt it, but when you jump and hit like a nitro in midair here, which I might have done, let's find out. No, it wasn't this one. It doesn't kill you sometimes. If you can do that at the beginning, then you'll easily get to the end in like not even 2 seconds. Some of the highest times are like a second and stuff. But yeah, other than that, I just followed the exact path that Lead Decimator did. There's a little thing here, you can get a few extra boxes to save yourself some time, but because you just need a time of about under 20 seconds, just here on the left you can get those boxes, but it's really hard. You need a time of under 20 seconds, so I just did it like this. Alright, so that's pretty much the end of the video. I want to thank you all for watching. It took me a long time to do this. I didn't record my first attempt, so that's why that's like that. My name is Ultima456, and I'll see you next time.